Hit it.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 40. Dude, 40 episodes in 2023 for the Drag and Drive show presented by Summit Racing. This is exciting. We have some cool stuff tonight. We're talking about PRI. Obviously, this is like the pre-show to PRI. We have Bill Armstrong of Bangshift Billy, and we're going to talk about his PRI setup. And we have another huge announcement here in just a little bit, probably at about the 10-minute mark. So, guys, share this out right now. We got to get more people watching to see this that's coming along. Eric, hit the intro video and let's get this thing started. Guys, I'm here with Dave Teresi, Mr. Energy.
Oh, yeah, I'm psyched to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm
we're looking for a 6 something. That's
Excited you're here. It's going to be a ton of fun. Great weather.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really excited about this right here. Man, I'm so excited about tonight, guys. If you don't know, my name is Mike Narks. I am the host of the Drag and Drive show that you're watching right now and the Drag and Drive news that happens on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. I am also a Drag and Drive statistician. I dig deep in all the historical and current stats and promoter, dude. And half my day today was spent on the Circuit 2024 event, landing hotels and making sure everything is good to go. And of course, nothing works on that side when it's supposed to. Eric, introduce yourself and tell them what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of Drag and Drive Show and Drag and Drive News. I do video editing. I do graphic design stuff. I do literally whatever Mike needs help with. I'm there. When I'm not doing that, I'm working on my channel, 815 LSX Swaps, and I'm back to being a rising creator on Facebook. That thing's so up and down, but I think this is I don't know, 2 weeks in a row again after having a week off or something.
Yeah, dude, that's like 8 or 9 weeks in a row that you've done that. I want to say congratulations. And y'all, listen, we really couldn't do it. You really probably wouldn't get that without your race car friends. Dude,
Absolutely.
These guys and girls that support us make all of this possible. And I'll tell you, last night when I was on the computer at 1 a.m. doing stuff for the PRI show, there was a time when I thought, is this worth it? And I'll tell you right now, it certainly is, man. We have had a crazy couple of weeks here leading up, and the next 10 days of our life is going to change everything. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm excited to be in the middle of all this with you. I want to say thanks to our race car friends out there that make this possible. You know, you guys, your likes and shares, like I talked about a while ago, make all this possible. Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk, our sponsors. Love them. They make this possible as well. They helped travel to at least 13 events this year, and we're looking at our 2024 schedule, and it's even busier than what 2023 was. So I'm excited to be doing that. But man, I want to start off the show a little different this time because we're going to get some stuff out of the way early so we can just focus on PRI and what that story is going to be as we move forward, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about, of course, is found on Summit Racing. I was digging around today because the other day I ordered a new jacket for the second co-pilot of Bryant Goldstone. You know, that's part of the world champion package is to get, you know, custom jackets made. So we order those from Summit in like a, I don't know, a Dickies style jacket. It's really, really nice setup. So we're having some embroidery done on those for all those guys. So I was on there the other day. Of course, I had to sneak over and look at the Drag and Drive Addiction stuff. I mean, guys, hats, hoodies, T-shirts, all the kind of stuff. They have shirts that they've designed. They designed the hat. It's really, really cool that they have taken up Drag and Drive like they have. It's really because they are Drag and Drive racers as well as sponsors. So that's always a huge plus. But I wasn't looking for that stuff. I did end up over there. But what I found this time, and this is kind of neat because this is a like the old school socket headlights never work right, and aren't very bright. So I found these diode dynamics, I don't know, LED light bulbs that are going to help you see maybe a little bit, but you don't have to change out your entire setup. Like that was for the rear of the old truck, my 66 C10. I actually converted all of that over to like the lighting system from a 2005 Tahoe that I had dismantled so I could get better tail lights. And, looking back now, these would have probably corrected that. So the whole diode dynamics has like a 30% off of everything in their setup this week as part of the holiday deals over on summitracing.com. So that's pretty cool. I wish, again, I had seen these before. I completely rewired all of my taillights. And then the Dynamat company has a bunch of different discounts, 20%, 30% on a couple different things. But the Dynacore piece here is really, a lot of guys, we order the Dynamat, the thick, rubbery Dynamat. We roll that out on the floor, and that helps with heat. But this actually helps a ton more with sound. A lot of guys, when you are putting down carpet, you hear the word jute a lot of time, which is that soft fibery backing on that. This is essentially what that is. And this comes in, you can see it's like a 1/2 inch or 1 inch thick. So this could really add a lot of depth to your carpet. I know that sounds like a weird way to talk about carpet, but instead, like it would allow it to have some comfort, a little more padding, but it is going to reduce a ton of the sound as you're driving along. And that is important. And this stuff doesn't weigh very much in relation to the non-beating that your ears are taking. So that's our found on Summit Racing for this week. Again, I want to say thanks to them for being a part of this. And dude, we get to hang out with them next week. We're going to talk about at PRI where we're going to be, and their booth is definitely one of those spots.
Yep. And before you go on, they hit a milestone, didn't they?
Dude, they did. 200,000 subscribers. That's been the video we've been playing. Recently was Justin in there talking about that they're giving away 3 $200 gift cards when they hit 200,000 subscribers. And I looked yesterday and they had hit it. So that's exciting. Congratulations to them. 200,000 is a bunch on YouTube nowadays,
Yeah, for sure. Yep,
So-
that's awesome. So I'm sure they'll have a new video coming soon announcing that they hit it, and maybe they'll even do that at PRI.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So Susan Goff Short here is my mom, and they just ordered the radiator for my grandfather's truck, her dad's truck, 78 Toyota pickup. They ordered the radiator from Summit, direct replacement, dropped it right in. I mean, dude, so not only performance parts, but also like replacement parts.
Right.
I mean, where else do you find a 78 Toyota radiator other than Summit Racing? I mean, it's literally the only spot they could find it that was relatively cost effective. I'll say
Right.
that.
And whenever I order from them, it shows up to my house in like a day or two, tops.
Well, dude, it's because you live like 200 miles from a warehouse. I mean, they have a warehouse in Ohio. The jacket I ordered the other day for Rob Sanders, dude, I ordered it like I ordered it on Friday. No, I ordered it on Wednesday and it arrived at my house on Friday. So
That's
like,
awesome.
how does it do that fast? Like that's over Thanksgiving, but we have a warehouse that's in Dallas. I mean, it's crazy. My
Yeah.
mom said 3 days for the radiator. I mean, like it just, I don't know. Summit Racing, you're awesome. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yep. Our next sponsor we want to thank is Molly Motorsports. Guys, we're going to get to hang out with them too. We are working on a time with Eric Grillo and the team, Joe Malish over there, to see when we can set up in their booth for just a little bit of a meet and greet. And really, I say these are meet and greets, but really they're heckling. Like we're going to be heckling people that we know as they walk by the booth. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're setting up a time with them Thursday, Friday, or Saturday that we can go hang out with them.
Well, and we might might have some special things to hand out when we're at other booths that we're not going to have at our booth. So
That's exactly right. That's
Might have-
exactly right.
you might have to come find us at one of our sponsors' booths to find out what that is.
Yeah, well, and we're going to talk about a little bit of the stuff that hopefully you'll get to mess with here in a minute. But let's first play the Molly Motorsports ad, as this may be the last time you guys see this ad, because we're going to have Eric Destroyer 1320 redo the audio behind it, and we'll make a new video.
Molly Motorsports is the official piston of DragOnDrive.com. Molly's Power Pack piston is the perfect candidate for your drag and drive car. Molly Motorsports competes in drag and drive events and supports our community. Project manager Eric Grillo raced a 10-second stick shift Nova at Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. He's also competed in Rocky Mountain Race Week last year with his C10 truck. Visit mollymotorsports.com for the most recent line of products.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm messaging Brian Sanford here for the circuit stuff. Sorry about that. I figured I could sneak that in real quick. Well, why don't you tell us about what you have now that arrived at your house today?
Yeah. So before I do that, I do want to thank Ryan. When I was talking about the graphic design stuff, he mentioned the artwork for Hargett Automotive Performance. I want to say thank you for reaching out to me and letting me do that. That was a very cool thing, and I appreciate you letting me do that for you.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And so 815 has been selling trim rings for a while, right? And I've been wanting to buy something for the last couple years, and it wasn't cheap, so I couldn't really pull myself to do it. But this year, I finally was in a position to reinvest some of the money that I made and bought a new product that I'm super excited for. It's not all put together yet. It just got here earlier today, but I don't know if you can see that kind of. This is the Com Marker. It's a fiber laser engraver. So something I've wanted to buy for a long time. I've wanted to do all kinds of laser engraving, and this is going to open up a bunch of opportunities for new products that I can sell over on 815 LSX, but stuff that we can now create for Drag and Drive Addiction as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that because one thing you don't know is that we're going to utilize that quite a bit. You may already know that, but that's definitely going to be something that we're going to use because that allows us to. So right now we're having Travis Wise at Revved Up Laser Works do the trophies for the Drag and Drive Awards, right? And had planned for him to do some other things, but then that creates this whole other deal. Like if I find something that I want to buy that we can award to a racer during the year, then I buy it, then I send it to him. He sends it back to me. Well, in this case, you can buy it and just print it, and then you can ship it to me, and I can give it out. Or if you're going to be at an event, you can just bring it with you. So it's going to be
Right.
really, really cool. We have a lot of plans. What is the what's the first thing you think you're going to do with it?
Well, I've got a handful of stuff that they sent with me to test on, and just looking at the little pamphlet they sent here, it can mark metal, gold and silver, copper and aluminum, plastic and acrylic, painted wood, leather, and stone. So
Dude,
that's a pretty
maybe
impressive.
we do some Drag and Drive Addiction gold bricks. That's
Yep.
that's what we need to do.
But just some things that they sent with to test on is just some metal business cards, which I think will be
Mhm.
cool to play with. Those are in black and gold.
Nice.
So a couple of those to play with. Rings, which is kind of interesting, they sent
Yeah.
with. It did come with a rotary, so I can engrave round things. So like cups, Yetis type stuff.
Yeah.
Some dog tags, which obviously I've got a couple dogs, so I'll probably end up using those. And then
Yeah.
your traditional style dog tag. And I got a whole bag of this stuff that they had sent with. So you can see there's, a bunch of components in this bag. So plenty of stuff to test on. So I think
That'll be a lot of fun.
that's going to be what I'm going to start with. And then I've got some other stuff that I'm going to bring with the PRI, but I don't think I'm going to talk about that. I think
Okay,
you guys are
cool.
going to have to come find us to see those because those
Yeah,
are going to be
and
pretty cool too.
right. And when we say find us, just wait till you guys see the list of places that we're going to be and going during this time. So, all right. Well, let's talk about event stuff as we move through this. The circuit, I sent out the hotel list today to all of the registered racers there, and some folks even on the wait list. I've kind of grouped all of those people together into one email bunching. And what you guys are going to see after PRI, we're not going to try and do it before PRI, is we're going to add an email newsletter for the website. I'm not going to say newsletter, but we're going to add a way for you to be caught up with things as well that aren't necessarily, I don't know, maybe like a recap or something like that of the show. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to provide you guys a way to add your email address to the website. So this email went out for the circuit hotel list. And of course, the first person that tries to call, the hotel is not set up for. So that's the way these things work sometimes. So we have a couple different hotels for Thursday night, which is our racer party. And then one of the hotels for Friday night also set up. So I'm hoping that we sell both of those or all three of those out. By the numbers, we should be really pretty close. Again, camping is obviously welcomed at this. You can, I've got a deal set up with both tracks to where it'll all be easy. So, anyways, I want to say thank you to everybody being patient on the circuit stuff. I told you I would have it out Wednesday. We luckily had it out Wednesday, and we're moving on to the next stuff. The racer party stuff is still being planned, so I'll have updates for Saturday night's hotel. I would say by the end of December. That's probably the earliest I'm gonna really even focus on that. The next 10 days is nothing but PRI. I'm not even
Right.
of anything else but PRI. So that's pretty cool. Sick the Mag made a post. This shows 7 minutes in the picture, but it was really about 3 hours ago, maybe 4 now, that Tom Bailey made a comment on his Facebook page that there is a new class being added to Sick Week and Sick Summer called Heavy Street. And it's funny because the minimum weight's 3,550 pounds, which sounds like in race car terms, pretty heavy. But in drag and drive terms, that's probably pretty light. And
Yeah.
so you see Joe Barry's car here. That's probably one of the reasons behind this is because this allows those guys with a heavier car to compete in a class. Currently, let me pull my notes up here. Currently, it says 3,550-pound minimum, all steel body minus hood and deck lid, stock wheelbase, wings are allowed, must make weight without ballast, no chassis rules, no tire rules, and official rules are to come. That's on Tom Bailey's post within there. So that's going to be really kind of cool to see what that does. Obviously, adding another class this late in the year makes it a little more difficult for cars. But again, if you have these kind of cars that are going to be fast in this class, they're going to make room to fit them into the event, or these guys are already signed up and we're just getting in where they fit in, and this is going to allow them an opportunity to be more competitive within another class. So kind of cool. What do you think about this class?
I think it'll be interesting. I know there's been tons of talks about rules and everything lately, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll be interested to see how it kind of plays out and when they post the official rules.
Yep. I think it's going to be good. Yep. And then Carolina Drag Cruise has announced their dates April 4th through 7th at Shadyside Dragway. It's always a favorite track. We went there obviously for Southeast Street Meet, and they laid it down. And I think Carolina Drag Cruise has been to that track several times. So April 4th through 7th for Carolina Drag Cruise. Registration opens on January 1st. And then Central Victorian Drag and Drive has opened their expression of interest. If you are in Australia and want to hit this one, they have opened their expression of interest. I couldn't find the track that they're hitting, but they were at Mildura this last time. I would think they're probably going to go back there as well. And the event is going to be April 18th through 21st for that one. I would say for their first one of the year, I think they actually had 2 last year. And then more event news. Big Sky Race Week has announced their registration date of January 13th. I want to say thanks to Austin and the team over there. Him and I were messaging back and forth the other day, and so he allowed us to make this on the same day they released it. So it's kind of exciting to be able to do that. This event is really cool to me and has really piqued my interest, mainly because it's in a completely different part of the country than we'll see. So this is all new for all of those guys there. There are several racers that are in that area, but this is going to allow a lot more people to come into the drag and drive community. They are capping registration at 150 cars. So it should be pretty interesting event. So it's going to be kind of cool. Yeah, this Facebook user is saying that Big Sky Race is appealing, going to be some awesome scenery. That is true. And when you see the Facebook user, that means they are in our Drag and Drive Addicts Facebook group. And if you scroll to the bottom of the video description or live stream description, StreamYard does give you permission to use. You have to give StreamYard permission to use your name. So if you'll do that, it'll show your name the next time you make a comment. And then King of the Open Road has been Jared Holt has been commenting and posting in the King of the Open Road Facebook group, talking about the spring event is all he is saying about that. I'm not pressing too hard for a date because they just came off of their last event of the season, and I'm sure he's working his butt off to get all that stuff done. They drove the route that they have planned the other day. This is going to be the King of the Open Road. I in the post that I put up or just right before the show started on the website, it talks about May. And the only reason I'm assuming May is because that's what they've done last year was their first event was at mid-May. So I'm assuming that again, we'll ask that once we get back from PRI. When he's on the show, he actually reached out and was like, hey, I'd love to be on, talk about some of our stuff in 2020, planned for 2024.
That'd be cool.
Yep. Yep. Ryan Hargett's over here sending me pictures of something special that's pretty cool. We're going to do some breaking news on it at PRI as well. So it's going to be kind of a wild ride.
Dude, PRI is gonna be insane. But let's do the Found on Racing Junk before because we're gonna go on a long tangent of PRI because we got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
So I am going to pull up our Found on Racing Junk and go through all of those. I got some pretty cool ones this week. This first one, most people should recognize.
What?
Old
Troy Martin?
Glory.
No, Troy Martin
Yep.
is selling that car?
Yep. I saw this
Somebody's got to
actually.
buy this.
I think I saw it on Facebook. I think he posted maybe a link to the Racing Junk, but yep. I've seen this car. It is wicked. I've got some really cool pictures of it. 50 grand, 55 gasser drag and drive blown, 540 turbo 400 gear vendors, drive to the track, race, and drive home.
Yeah.
5.8 in the 8th and 9 to 1 in the 4th.
What a cool car.
Yes. Yep. So once I saw that, that took me obviously down the road for this week, which is all about nostalgia cars. So the next one here
Yes.
is 1933 Willys nostalgia drag car for $49,900. So there's actually quite a few gasser style vehicles on Racing Junk. So that was cool. This thing was definitely wicked.
Yeah. Well, and for folks that don't know, if they don't follow the Southeast Gassers Association, that sold the other day.
This one did?
No, the Southeast Gassers Association
Oh,
sold
okay.
to a new owner, so you can actually take this and take it down to the Southeast and race in their series.
Yep. So this one is fiberglass Willys coupe, Scott Rod's body and frame, small block 406, Dart little M block, Colley's crank, JE piston. So you can see all that on there. Ran consistent 560s at 128. It runs 873 in the quarter at 155.
Man, that just seems scary on a
Yeah.
solid front axle, dude.
And those exhausts are are wild. For a drag and drive, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, do you just take it like put a motorcycle muffler on that? Like you just hang out the window and put a motorcycle muffler on that piece?
Yep.
Wow.
So that's the second one. The third one here, this one is a nostalgia one, but it's really clean. This one's a 36 Chevy.
It's like a street ride. I don't know about.
Yeah.
Car.
This one was interesting because when I read the description, it's Barry's Speed Shop 36 Chevy 2 sedan that was used on the TV show Rex to Riches. So I thought that was kind of cool. This was their shop race car, but time to move on. 468 big block, 400 TH trans. This one might not be a drag and drive car, but I definitely thought it fit our theme for this week. So
yeah, I mean, that would definitely work. I mean, it looks like it's already got a good cage in it and all that kind of stuff. Huh, what a cool car.
Yeah, definitely. And this last one might be my favorite. This thing is definitely different. 1936 Ford drag truck roller. That's my style right there.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of that. I bet that is light.
So it is a roller, so you can drop, whatever turbo LS you want in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, nice looking cage in there and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So this one, 1936 Ford drag roller, NHRA 60 certified, set up for Hemi, Bruno Lenko or Power Glide. strange front struts and brakes. And then the big part here, boom, has title and plate.
That's cool. I see NHRA stock here talking about that. Looks very Pluniak-ish. That's exactly what I thought of when he brought it up too. Was Nick Pluniak? That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a cool one. That one really grabbed my attention. But um, honestly, the whole search started with Troy Martin's car this week. So
Yeah.
that kind of surprised me that it was up for sale. I kind of interested to see if he's building another car or what his plans were. But
I mean, he's got to be right. He's got to
that
be.
thing at Nostalgia Nights was wicked. Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
such a cool car.
That's cool. Well, good luck to him on the sale for sure. And again, guys, the reason we use Racing Junk is because we don't want to clutter up a Facebook page with a bunch of for sale ads. So the folks in the Drag and Drive Addicts group, if you ever see a for sale ad on there, let us know. We typically don't allow those on there simply for the reason of people just they mass post those everywhere and it just clutters everything up. So I see Nick Deals in here. I see Kanan Halls in here. We're all of our PRI folks. Well, guys, let's jump into that because we need to talk about where we're going to be, who we're going to be with, and when we're going to be doing it.
That's
Because,
easy. We're going to be everywhere.
yeah, that's right. It's everywhere, all over, all the time.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of the craziest events we've been at. I want to start off this entire segment by thanking the folks that are coming with us. You and I do this because this is what we do. Like, I mean, y'all, I quit my job in July to talk about drag and drive all day. Like I'm an addict. I have a problem. But Adam Green, Stephen Narks, Colt Beck, Travis Wise, and Red Hat Scotty are coming with us to help us run the booth while you and I are away, right?
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to them for coming along and helping with that. Y'all, they're going to be helping with the award show. They're going to be helping with booth coverage while we're out running around. So I'm telling you, we couldn't be doing this without those dudes. So thank you to them. Thank you for being a part of all of that. And then, guys, make sure that you come see us at booth 4746 in the yellow hallway. We're kind of, well, it won't matter. It won't matter where we're at because you're not going to know where you're at anyways. 4746, add it to your PRI show planner because if this is your first time, you're going to get in there and you're going to forget who you wanted to go see. So just
And-
add it now. Just add the app so you can make your marks, make
And-
your selections.
And here's what happens. You set a plan. You're going to go up, down this aisle, right, back and
Mhm.
forth, and then you're going to get to a spot, and you're going to look right, and you're going to squirrel, because then you're going to go off because you saw something
Yes.
that you wanted to look at, and then you're
Or-
never going to
or-
remember where you were.
Yeah, or you're going to see your friends because that's what happened to me last year. Is I would be walking around and I would run into somebody, and Tina and Dave Pierce are a great example of this, or Felicia and Aaron Smith. Felicia and Aaron Smith really did this to me, I think, at least twice. They would be going somewhere, and I would run into them, and I would walk with them because they were like, you know, she's famous, so they were going somewhere for her to do some stuff, and so I would walk with them for a few minutes, and I ended up 4 rows down. Where was
Right.
I at? I don't know. So you got to check them off. One other thing about that too is that you have your lanyard, you want to scan those companies, let them know you were there, but also that would allow them to send you stuff because you never know when you're going to have to do all that. When you're going to need that part or when you're going to need that discount or you're going to need that contact info from those places. So we're going to be where we'll be booth 4746. That's where we're going to spend as much time as possible during the day. Okay. We're going to be there as often as possible. We're literally going to run to meet and greets and run back. We're going to try and be there as much, but I'll tell you, Thursday for us is going to be very difficult because we have the Drag and Drive Award Show, which you're obviously looking at right here on the screen, December 7th at 11 a.m. in room Indianapolis Convention Center, or ICC, room 209. Which from what I can see is a second story room. That's about all I can figure. I don't know. And I'm
believe
assuming that
so.
from 209. So that's kind of where all the conference rooms and things like that are going to be already. So if you're doing a seminar or something like that, that's where it's going to be. So room 209, we're going to be up there at 11 a.m. But Eric and I are already, we're basically planning to be there. We're leaving our booth at like 10 o'clock because we have to set up the entire room, get the PA ready, get the live stream ready, and all that kind of stuff. And then after that show, we're actually going to be I keep saying parading around, but that's essentially what we're going to do. We are going to be taking Bryant Goldstone, the first ever Drag and Drive World Champion. We're going to be taking him to all of our sponsors for sure, and then the sponsors that he has, to those booths, getting pictures, talking with those sponsors, and talking with those people, and just, I don't know, celebrating the first ever Drag and Drive World Champion. So it's going to be really, really cool to do that. I did want to, I don't know, give a couple things that we are going to do here, because we have the award show, and then award show Friday and Saturday morning too. We're going to have. Do you have those stickers there that are special for PRI?
I do.
Because listen, we are going to be at the booth from 8 to 10:15 on Thursday. So the first 100 people every day that come by the booth are going to get one of these right here, but only 100. So I know that sounds like a lot of folks for people that don't understand, but there's supposedly more than 50,000 people registered for PRI 2023.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
I'm overwhelmed with the thought of being able to talk to that many people about Drag and Drive.
Yeah.
Really excites me, because I think people know what it is, but they haven't been close enough. They haven't had an opportunity to ask what a Drag and Drive is, or where is one? Where can I get involved? How do I do one? Where do I sign up? Anything like that. So we're going to be able to just absolutely cram it down at least 25,000 people's throat.
Yep, and I don't have the flyers out with me because they're already packed away, but we got some cool flyers that explain what a drag and drive is, and then what drag and drive addiction is. So those are going to be cool to hand out. You'll hopefully don't see any on the floor, but hopefully we'll be handing them out to as many people as we can.
Yep. Yeah. We don't drop those. At least throw them in the trash. If we give you one, or give it to someone else. A lot of the folks that are going to be coming over that know us, if you end up with one of those, you probably know most of that data on there anyways. And you know how open Eric and I are. You can simply message us and we reply back within minutes generally. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that I just drove yesterday 300 miles to meet Travis Wise at Revved Up Laser Works to pick up the trophies. I didn't put the picture in here, I don't think. Nope, I sure did not. Dadgummit. I will be posting one up on Facebook after the show tonight, because I want you guys to see this thing. It looks amazing. Again, this awards list right here is huge. 28 or 30 awards we're going to be giving away in an hour. Dude, you see how much I talk. This is it's going to be hard. So I've written out basically a script for me to follow, and I have made notes of who is going to be there and who is not going to be there. So the folks that are not there, you're going to get your name called still, but we are not going to waste any time on looking for you in the room. So if you're going to be there and you're getting an award, I have sent you a message, and I know or not if you're going to be there. So let's get that knocked out of the way. We're going to be blasting through that stuff. So the folks that are there, we will have the time to be able to talk to them for 1 minute and get the pictures. Jesse Fox, I've hired him to take our award show photos, but then also we are going to live stream that so everybody at home can be watching as well. And we'll have a historical record of that later on down the way. So it's exciting. So again, room ICC 209, 11 to 12 on Thursday, December 7th. Please come down. And I did want to give a few names of folks that I know are going to be there. Cameron Thorpe will be accepting the #1 racer in the 11-second category, and Zach Stevens will be accepting his 12-second racer trophy for his #1 spot with a 12:009.
That's so awesome.
Absolutely insane. So we think about these 9 and 10 and 11-second racer lists as more of like an index style list. So these are racers that could not run faster than those times. So really pretty cool award there. And you'll see a lot of Midwest Drags and Rocky Mountain and Race Week folks there, because they have these as index classes. So anyways, the top 3 in the national 8th mile 235 list, which I posted earlier today, the top 10, but the top 3, Jordan Tuck, Sheldon Root, and our boy Ryan Hargett, who is going to be in the room. He'll be coming up and accepting that trophy as well for that. One of a few different trophies he's going to be getting during that ceremony. So it's pretty cool. He better stay up front. So, and again, we're going to be awarding Bryant Goldstone and Brian Robbins and Rob Sanders as the first ever Drag and Drive World Champion teams. And all the cool stuff will probably end up back at Bryant's house, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more than likely.
Right. So that kind of encapsulates us till about 12:15 on Thursday, and we're just going to run people down the gauntlet here. So we have Mr. Rich Guido, the Canadian Chuck Norris himself. He's going to be in our booth from 2 to 3 p.m., which I think is going to be really fun. So we're going to fire up the live stream again. We're going to talk to him on the live stream, as well as, again, heckle people as they come by. And there's going to be, I hope, a lot of opportunity for him to interact with different companies and different people within the industry that can, I don't know, maybe allow him to travel more and attend more events, or I don't know, make the car faster if he can do that. I don't know. That's a lot. So 20,000 miles in 2023, attending events, 1,500 horsepower. Mr. doesn't even own a truck and trailer. So that's that, and the Mr. Canadian Chuck Norris is what we're going to call him. So pretty exciting. And then
You know where he's not going to be this whole weekend?
where's that?
In the Lucas Oil Stadium where the trailers are, because he doesn't need to be over there.
That's exactly right. He'd have to even buy a truck to do that. So
Right.
that's awesome. Well, so we're gonna thank him for being in the booth and let him hang out if he wants to at 3:00. But you and I are running across the yellow hall, and we're going to be in the Howard's Cams booth with Luke B and the team over there. Again, heckling people as they come by. We're, we hope that some of our race car friends will come by and say hi. Again, Howard's Cams is a sponsor of ours, so we would appreciate any time that you can help spend some time with us in these booths that we're going to be in. So we're going to be in there. I'm saying at 3. I've told Luke about an hour is kind of our max time, right? So 3 to 4 p.m. I've added all of these guest appearances in the PRI app. So if you're looking for something to do at 3:00, it should be in there. So you should be able to find it there. And then, guys, this is the stuff we were talking about. I asked earlier if there were any teams that had been announced for the Sick Cart Chaos, and we got invited.
Yes.
We're going to be racing in the Sick Cart Chaos at PRI 2023, and I'm going to tell you right now, these two dudes are in the cart. We're racing, but we also have 2 open spots that are gonna, I don't know, we may have to get some Jello wrestling going on, some thumb wars or something for Steven and Adam and Travis and Red Hat Scotty and Colt to figure out who's going to be the other 2 teammates in driving the cart. So kind
Dude,
of
I'm excited for that.
Oh man, I want to say thanks to Tom and the team for allowing us to be a part of that. It's pretty cool to be involved in that. We had intended to be there anyways, covering it, just talking to racers, getting some content and things like that. So this is going to be really fun. I'm excited to be a part of that. And I don't know, I'm not very fast, but listen, I'll run somebody over.
I might not be fast, but I sure am competitive.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. So that's Thursday night from like 6 to 11 or something like that. So
Are we gonna do any live streams of that or what?
probably. I mean, maybe I'll. That's what we need to do. We need to buy a clamp for our phone, and we just live stream it right in the car.
Oh,
The car. We just
Game-
drive around hitting
game
people.
on. I'm on
Yeah.
Amazon as soon as the show's over.
Yeah, I'm in. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So again, thanks to the team for doing that. Yes, Red Hat Scotty's asking, is the carts Thursday night? Yes, they are. So you'll have to fly in and come right over to the cart area. So that's going to be fun. Again, 6 to 11, and really, this is going to be a blast because we're going to have the opportunity to spend time with all of our race car friends that are there, because that's what we missed last year, right? We chose to go to the DI Drag Illustrated after party or after hours show. And while it was fun, we had a good time, drank some beers, listened to some music that was probably turned up too loud. It wasn't nearly as cool as I think this karting is going to be. So it's exciting
100%.
about that. Oh man, Scotty
And-
said he doesn't play until 10 p.m. Shoot.
And even if we wanted to, that DI party goes way later. So if we decided, we still got some energy afterwards, we could attend that. But this is going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, for sure. So it's
Yep.
exciting.
Plenty of shenanigans are going to happen there.
Oh yeah. And then Friday morning,
Yeah,
uh,
we're
you
only
and I-
we're only on
Yeah.
the second day of PRI right now.
Yeah, you and I are headed to the Redwood Rally. They have a booth set up there in the Green Hall, kind of like right across from Street Outlaws. I mean, they've got a prime location set up right there. They've got a couple other products that they're going to bring out there with them, some other suspension pieces and things like that. But I think this is going to be really fun because this is going to allow not only us talking about Drag and Drive, now you have Redwood Rally in a great spot talking about their event that's on the West Coast, but also kind of how that ties into Drag and Drive. And there's a lot of other Drag and Drive participants coming. I mean, I made a post today. There's more than like 80 people that have commented on that they're going to be there. But you and I being here, I think is going to maybe help kind of, again, heckle some folks as they come by that maybe haven't made it to our part of the hall yet, because we're going to be on the other side of the green hall for this. So 11:30 on Friday. We would do it earlier, but we're meeting with a couple different people about the 2024 season. So I'm kind of excited about that too. So pumped about Redwood Rally, and then they're coming to our booth later. But then we have the meet and greet with Mrs. Brittany Freese and Mrs. Brittany Automotive. She's coming to our booth at 3:00. So this should give us an opportunity to spend some time between all these. And actually, I missed one, didn't I? I sure did, because we're going to be at Summit at 1:00 on Friday. So we're in the Summit booth at 1:00 on Friday. That's the slide I missed. I have that up, and I have it as a Facebook event. And then again, we'll be going live from there, as from all these places as well, talking to these, booth participants and all the stuff that comes along with all of that. So
so 11:30 to 12:30 Redwood Rally,
Mhm.
1:30 to 2:30 Summit.
1 to 2 at Summit. So we'll be running from Redwood Rally to Summit to make it. So and then 3:00 on Friday is going to be Brittany Freeson. She's going to be in our booth. We're going to be talking about really everything about her drag and drive career, building the car, putting an LT in a 4th gen, what she looks forward to for nitrous. She just sent that car off to put a cage in it, so that could be cool. And we'll get all the backstory, and then of course she'll be in the booth, so we'll be able to talk to folks as they come by. Because I mean, let's be honest, people want to talk to her instead of us, anyways. And she has a lot of cool race car stories. So
100%.
Yep. And then Saturday morning, while you're at a seminar, which is kind of something I haven't really looked into many because we're going to be so busy, but you're going to be attending a seminar, and I'm going to be talking to Austin of Big Sky Race Week, which my artwork here doesn't look very good, but that's the way it works sometimes. So Big Sky Race Week will be in the booth. We'll be talking to them about which tracks, some of the scenery they expect to see, car counts, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be able to give a lot more detail on that than we typically would just in these shows. So that'll allow, again, hopefully more more people to find out about their event. So, we got to push Drag and Drive in any way we can.
100%.
Yep. And then Redwood Rally is coming to our booth to hang out for a little bit. Again, talk to the live stream, talk to folks that are coming through. And this is Saturday, 11 a.m. So we're going to go 9 a.m. for Big Sky Race Week. Then right behind that at 11, we've got Redwood Rally. So it's going to be really cool to have that many, event promoters in the booth talking about all their stuff. So that should help a lot. And I'm hoping it helps folks at home get more excited about these events. So we're going to be talking about 2024. And then we're absolutely going to break down Redwood Rally, kick them out of the booth. And then you and I are running to the PRI paddock and podcast studio to set up our live streaming stuff, because we're going to be going live for our fans at home. But dude, there's going to be we're right in the middle of everything.
We're right at the entrance, isn't it?
Yeah. So people that are walking around PRI are going to be listening to our voices talk about Drag and Drive right in their ear hole. I mean, it's going to be just blasting from speakers right in their ear.
Yep.
Folks at home will be able to watch it and hear, see what all we're talking about as well. So it's going to be really, really cool. We've talked to the guys at Summit. They're going to come up there with us. They're going to talk about what they see from their side of Drag and Drive and everything. I mean, dude.
And PRI shared our promo video out on Monday night, and that's been going crazy. So that's been awesome.
Yep. Several thousand views across all the platforms that they posted that on is awesome.
And everyone that they didn't post it on, I posted it on every other social media app.
Yep. And then I reposted it, everything everywhere. So we've had a pretty good run the last couple of days, and we're attributing a lot of that to the PRI sharing of that. And again, they have more than 500,000 followers. So
Right.
it's really cool to be able to be a part of that and be added. You know, I want to say thanks to Get Out and Drive podcast. If you guys aren't listening to that, you need to. John and Jason over there helped us get in contact with the right people at PRI to be able to do that and be a part of the show. So it's going to be really cool, man. And Saturday at 1 p.m., that'll be like the meat and potatoes of like what I would call the public, right? The
Yeah.
folks who can take off Thursday and Friday are probably more gearhead oriented than maybe the folks that are going on Saturday. So they're going to be there and we're just going to be pounding them with Drag and Drive Addiction and the Drag and Drive story. So
Yep.
it's going to be really cool. I'm excited to, that's just during the day. That's all of our day stuff. I don't even know what we're going to get into at night. So
Right.
I need to hear some stuff like what are people doing Friday night? We're not doing anything Saturday night. I am absolutely shutting that place down and we're driving home as fast as we can. I need days of sleep, man. I slept about 2.5 hours last night. So
Yeah, we need this guy, Chris Story.
Yeah.
We're gonna need him to get us that Red Bull connection because
yeah, we're going to be living on it.
we're gonna be needing some Red Bulls for PRI. And you didn't even mention there's another podcast that we're gonna be doing stuff with at PRI as well.
Yeah, the Monoxide podcast. Him and I have been messaging back and forth. We were going to do Thursday night, but that's not going to work now, because we're going to be racing go-karts. And then I didn't even think about this, dude. So we're going to get set up Wednesday, right? So Stephen, Colt, and I are driving all night Tuesday night. We're going to get there Wednesday morning, set the booth up, and then we're driving over to Cold Heart Art to pick up the Drag and Drive World Champion trophy.
Yep, because I'll be there early afternoon.
Yeah, add that. Well, we'll wait for you. Add that to the list of stuff that we got going on. So it's going to be an absolutely crazy weekend. Absolutely crazy weekend. And the 8 days leading up to that now, or 7 days leading up to that, is what's going to be nuts. So
yeah, one week from today, we will be doing an episode because we didn't even talk about that. We're going to do our Wednesday night live stream at PRI somewhere. We haven't really determined where, but
yeah,
dude, it's going to be insane. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to talk to so many people that it's all going to go by so quick because we're going to be so busy.
Yeah, that is for sure. All right. Well, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, actually a little earlier than what we told him we would be, but Mr. Bill Armstrong is on here with us tonight, and I'm really excited about this. I've got an intro that's probably going to embarrass him a little bit, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna read this right off of how I wrote it because it's pretty. He's got a stellar list of stuff. So
he's covering his face right now.
Yeah, the guest tonight is in the same boat we are, guys. He's getting set up at PRI for the first time, but he's probably a lot more prepared for this level of anxiety because he drives a 1,500 horsepower, 8-second stick shift, small block Ford powered drag and drive car. The reason he's at PRI is because of a product that he developed that helps stick shift racers reset personal bests and make their launches much better for hydraulic clutch leg activated cars. Okay. He took his car north to Miles of Mayhem and dominated the man pedal class. This caused the Canadians to retaliate and bring 3 heavy hitters to Race Week and take the top 3 spots in the stick shift class. This guy hosts a podcast dedicated to stick shift racers and racing, interviewing people like Jonathan Atkinson of Tick Performance and Racer of the Grubworm, Clay Milliken, a top fuel driver, and Mike Finnegan. The list goes on for more than 20 episodes they have recorded. Guys, you got to find it. Stick Shift Nation for the Clutch Burners podcast. This dude does it all. He does all of that with his good friend, best friend, Mr. Rich Guido, on the Stick Shift Nation YouTube channel. Y'all, I am proud to welcome the creator of the Bangshift Billy, Mr. Bill Armstrong. How are you, sir? Uh-oh, you're muted. How about that? Nope. Do we have audio? No. See, he runs a podcast.
How about now? Is it working now?
How about
Woo! That's a win. Thank you. I'm flattered to be on here.
Man, I'm so excited to have you back on the show. You actually were on an episode of the business of burnouts early on in when I used to do the narcoleptic podcast, and we talked a little bit about that and all that stuff. So, but dude, you've grown exponentially since then. The car's faster. It's been faster. The business is going well. You got a booth at PRI. I mean, like, we got a lot to talk about. So, start us off with a recap of who you are, and then obviously kind of a recap of what the product is too.
Sure. So I'm Bill Armstrong. I was given the nickname Bangshift Billy, which kind of grew itself into its own company name. I have a stick shift G-Force T56 Magnum Ford Fairlane. I think that's been referred to as, people call G-Force and say, I want whatever Rich Guido's running. That's what I have too. And him and I are fierce competitors and probably even better friends.
That's awesome.
You know, Rich and I met at Drag Week 2013, and it's we've just gone down the rabbit hole together.
Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
you guys have been friends a long time and have done a ton of events together. I mean, like, you know, you're looking 15 events together, something like that.
Yeah, I've lost count, to be honest with you, and I'm running out of room on my windshield. Cameron Thorpe prints the thing for me, and it says Rocky Mountain Race Week, and then it goes, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then when we get to the years where there's 2, it's like 20 squared, 21 squared, 22 squared, 23 squared. But he has to print those for me every year because I have to slide the whole thing down the window. And that's just the race weeks. There's been 2 drag weeks, Midwest Drags, Miles of Mayhem. It's a few. And actually, I got to circle up with Rich and figure out which ones we're going to do this summer. That doesn't conflict with his work schedule and what I have going on, because there's so many to choose from now. It's kind of like, wait, there's more.
We just added 2 more to the list. We're up to 24 events in 2024 already. So
and that's creating a real career problem. Okay.
You're telling us.
Yep. Yeah, here Chris is saying one of the fastest Fords drag and drive, one of the fastest drag and drive Ford cars. Love that it's not an LS.
Yes, I mean a Ford belongs in a Ford. So it's funny because I do have the coils mounted to the valve covers, and you know, car shows and stuff, people walk up and they're like, you know, you'll hear them mutter, "Oh, it's an LS," and I'll be like, actually, it's not. Look a little closer. Then they're like, "Wait, what?" So it's pretty funny. But yeah, so then you know, Rich and I both started off running diaphragm clutches and ran into issues of, as the power started creeping up, we were outgrowing the clutches that we had. They just wouldn't hold. And then him and I went 2 different routes. At one point, he went with the slipper clutch, Black Magic slipper clutch, and he's having huge success with that. In fact, he'll tell you, it's on the street, it's the nicest and easiest clutch he's ever driven. And I've felt the clutch. I haven't actually driven his car on the street or the track, but
I was going to say, he let you drive it down the track. That'd be even cooler. I would want to drive it.
We should switch cockpits one time and just see.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, the problem is we'd make passes next to each other and blow up each other's cars right there. But yeah, the clutch pedal is like super soft on his. It's really nice. And I maintained the diaphragm clutch route. But I had to get much more aggressive with it to hold power. And so now I have a twin disc, and my clutch was set up by Kale at Black Magic as well, but it's a twin disc Ram Pro Street clutch, but it's got dual sintered iron discs. I don't know how much power it would hold. I'll bet north of 2,000, but it's pretty aggressive on the track. And so I developed a digital clutch controller that allows a diaphragm style clutch to operate like a slipper clutch at the drag strip when you launch it. And unlike Rich, who gets under the car to change the base pressure on the clutch and perhaps adjust counterweight or something like that, I make the adjustments from my nice cushy bench seat with an app on my phone.
Yeah.
And that's really been what it is. And it, you know, I kind of debuted the prototype on my car at Midwest Drags, And that was the first drag and drive event where I had an 8-second average. I finished first place in the stick class and ran my personal best that same week, which was an 870. And I've been working at, it hasn't been without problems. And I have a YouTube page, and I talked about some of those problems that we found after kind of dissecting everything. And that's been helpful, but I want to share that with people because, I'm not going to say it's not without trials and tribulations. And as I figure stuff out better on it and problems that maybe can help them, I'm going to share that with everybody, which then leads us to PRI. And I decided, we started selling the digital clutch controller, the Bangshift Billy, in 2022 after years of development. And I decided this year was the year to go to PRI, pay the money, get a booth, do the backdrop, do the whole thing, and display there. And that's what we're doing. And I've worked with Jeff Oppenheim at First Try Engineering.
Yes,
dude, he's fantastic. And
oh yeah,
if nobody's followed the progression that he's made with his cochlear implant, it's astounding, the story. And if you ever knew Jeff before or talked to him before, the change is remarkable. Like I can't even imagine what a life change it's been for him. But he's helped me by building. We worked together. He built it. I gave him the ideas, so I don't know how much I participated, but he built a brand new display for the PRI show for the clutch controller that includes a clutch pedal that's on the floor now.
Really?
Like, I'm super psyched about it. It's super nice. And we're debuting at PRI. I don't know if you guys have seen the kit, but you have a Bluetooth controller that's in a plastic enclosure that you mount in the car that has some LEDs and stuff on it. And we've been selling enough units that I got to the point where I needed more enclosures. And I decided to do a plastic injection mold for the new enclosures. Wow, and it's super sexy. I have the 3D printed prototype that I'll be debuting and showing at, there's a picture of the new display, and the part with the clutch pedal will go on the floor.
How cool, dude. And so what folks need to understand, if they haven't seen this before, typically this would be all kind of together on a stand, and you would activate it with your arm, and then it would show. And again, it's all in the video we did before, but you've got some really good stuff on your YouTube channel as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it helps to show it. And another thing that we added to this, since this picture was taken, is we added a dial indicator to the end where that throwout bearing is, because the amount of movement in that throwout bearing and where it stops it and holds it, where you get the slip and stuff, it isn't a huge amount. And it's much easier to see when you see that dial indicator swinging around. So we've added that to it, which I'm excited just to kind of show it off. And this picture doesn't show the new enclosure, but it'll have the new enclosure on it. It'll also be in the new product showcase, which I'm excited about. I'll have
cool. Way to go, man.
A display there. And then, and I guess I'll officially announce it now, we're launching a new product at PRI. It's going to be a prototype that's there, and I can go into the details of what a train wreck that has been. But we're launching a new product. It's going to be called the Billy Button. And it applies to a much larger audience than just stick shift racing. And what it is think about all the race cars or street cars out there that have buttons on the steering wheel. What's the one thing that you absolutely hate about buttons on the steering wheel?
Wires.
Yes. This is a wireless version of that.
What?
Completely wireless?
100% wireless. You could take the steering wheel out of the car and throw it out the window, which might be a bad thing. But it's 100% wireless. There'll be no cables to work, and on an absolute race car, maybe it's not so bad, but on a drag and drive car, and I've talked to a number of people, ones that come to mind who's going to be testing some of the prototypes, Royce Payton with that wicked black, it is not Ford powered, but it is what is it, 6 second, 7 second Mustang. It's nasty. And he had one of those connectors fail because of all the driving with the wire, and it's work hardens the wire as you're driving down the road. it broke, and you don't know typically that it's failed until you need it for a line lock.
Right.
Until you go to let go of it.
Right. Trans brake, line lock,
Yeah.
scramble button, whatever. So yes, we're going to be launching that, and it's pretty nuts. Yeah. And Too Tall's Model Car Garage. This dude is so cool, and he builds these incredible models of lots of people's cars, including Rich and I. And it's pretty cool. And I think on his shelf he has our cars like on a Christmas tree, and mine's a little bit in front of Rich's.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm
your
excited
car is
to
the faster one, right? Yeah.
It's barely faster, and Rich and I are both going through some changes over the winter, so we're going to see what we come out with in the spring.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think like what Eric was saying there, I'm excited about this button deal. That could be really cool. Like me, I'm an auto guy, but I think you and Steven, my brother, have had conversations about his new build and things like that for his, because he's keeping that car stick shift and like all of that.
Yep.
But like this button deal, I mean, dude, talk about something that could, revolutionize the Jeep industry. Those could wire in lights and.
So it's super great that you mentioned that, because that's another piece of the market segment that I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. And I'm planning to build that with, like, you can buy the model for like a race car and you can order the buttons. I'll have a selection of buttons that you can pick, and then it comes and you install it in your steering wheel. The other option would be for an off-road vehicle. Mm-hmm. We're planning to make an injection molded case that has 4 switches in it. So you could just stick it to the dash of a new. And what's the worst thing about buying a Jeep when you want to put a light bar on it? It's running the wires through the dash and then through the firewall on a new vehicle. It's terrifying. Yeah. And with this, you won't have to do that. The under hood piece that you would wire the light bar to, and you'd wire to the battery. It's got a 12-pin DT series Deutsch connector, totally weatherproof. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be sweet. I'm excited for it. The market segment is much bigger than, the Bangshift Billy operates in a very small market segment, and that is stick shift drag racing. And it's like, there's, how many people are doing that? It's tough. Yeah. And so that's it. And I will tell you, for like the past year, I started working on the Billy button, working with an electrical engineer. And then about 3 weeks ago, I was supposed to have a working prototype more than 3 weeks ago, and he just wasn't getting it done, excuse after excuse. And finally I fired him and hired another electrical engineer. And, the guy he told me what his rate was. And I was like, it's expensive, but I'm beyond the point of being price sensitive. Like, I got to have this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really showed me the difference between, sometimes you do get what you pay for, because yes, this guy's rate was about 3 or 4 times what the other guy was, but in 4 days time, he turned it around and had all the files and everything to the prototype maker. And then here's where the problem came. So I just got back from a 10-day vacation with my fiance out of the country. So my email voice contact wasn't awesome, right? And I had everything set up with the electronic board manufacturer before I left. And I was supposed to pick up the prototypes when I got back, which I got back Monday night. Mm-hmm. Tuesday morning, I called them. I said, hey, I'm back, pick up these prototypes. And they're like, we don't have an order in our system. And I'm like, what? So they admitted it was their fault. And as we speak right now, they are scrambling. They are eating the cost of having this turned around in 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And I explained to them, I said, these things have to be in Jeff Oppenheim's hands, because he's helping build these displays for PRI. Yeah. They have to be in his hand by Saturday. So they're having to do overnight shipping with Saturday delivery. Like this week, like it's bananas. Like I was just like, yeah. So
make this happen, please.
Yes. So fortunately, all the other pieces for PRI, like the backdrop, the display, like the clutch controller display, that was done long ago with Jeff. Business cards, those types of bits and pieces, those were done. This last piece, I feel like I'm at race week in a hotel parking lot at midnight.
and you're racing at 8 a.m. You gotta race at 8 a.m. to stay in first place. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
man, that's
yeah.
wild, dude. That's so exciting, though. I think that's going to be a part that can. I mean, obviously, we want all the success for you on everything, but like I think
Thank
that's
you.
something that can really take you to the next level and provide more race car money. That's what we want. We want you to have all the race car money you need.
Yeah, yeah. And I will tell you, I have I don't even know if he's listening. Yeah, pulled out all his hair. I didn't lose my hair. It just went down my back.
Yeah.
Um, I have a really good friend, Bill Leak, and I don't know if he's listening to this. And I say a really good friend, but I'm not sure because I told him a couple of years ago, I said, boy, you know what? If if an early 60s Falcon ever showed up online that was already caged and everything as a roller, I said, I would have a real hard time not buying it because the car's 1,000 pounds lighter than what I currently have.
Oh yeah.
And what happened, I don't know, a month or two ago, he sends me a link for one that's for sale. And I'm like, you're a total a-hole, man. Thanks a lot. And I've had some discussion with Rich about it. And I just don't think that's going to happen.
Oh man, there you go.
Well, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
I like to drive my car like Rich does. And
Mhm.
if I went and built a lightweight, very competitive, potentially competitive stick shift car, what does that look like? Well, it's going to have uncomfortable seats. The exhaust is going to come out in front of the firewall. And, I know a lot of guys are going to say, oh, I drive mine all the time. Did you drive it 20,000 miles like Rich did? I
Right.
probably put 12, 15,000 miles on my car last year
Yep.
after driving up to Rich and surprising him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm not going to do that with racing seats and loud exhaust out in front and have to wear earmuffs to have a conversation someone sitting a foot and a half from me. That's just not a street car to me.
Yep.
That's just me. I mean, pump gas and all that's great, but it's got to be somewhat comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The hardest part is like that car is, if it's 1,000 pounds lighter, you immediately go to high sevens. So now you've got to have a 750 cage, smaller car, 750 cage, harder to get in and out of.
This car's already caged to like 6 something. This one, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, so even worse. So even harder to get in and out of. So yeah, I mean, and so for me, the hard part would be, okay, now do you build a whole new setup, or do you take your setup out of your current car and put in there? And then what are you going to put in that car? What are you going to put in?
Yeah. And that was
all that.
Yeah. Cause I broke the block on the last race week this year. So I can reuse pretty much everything because it wasn't catastrophic. The cam's screwed, but cam's no big deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could take my drivetrain and put it in that, and yeah, it'd be a 7-second car.
Yeah.
But then what do I do with that one? And then, so you drop 6 figures into a car for what? To stroke an ego and win $1,000?
No.
I mean, it's already super dumb what we do. so I mean, do I need to bite off a bigger chunk of stupid? I'm not sure I do.
Well, I can tell you having 2 cars is not fun already. Like I'm maintaining 2 cars, and then it's too much. Like I don't know why I thought it would be a great idea to build 2 cars.
Well, you built the S13 for convertible stick shift. That's a fun car, and then you're like, I really need a race car.
Right, that's exactly what happened.
You built the Mustang to go racing, and then you don't do that either. So we're going to change that. Though. We're going to change that.
Yeah, and it's it is. It's I think to drive the car like Rich and I do, and be competitive and do 2 to 3 events a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep up and maintain one car, and to maintain it to the level that like when my co-pilot Jamie and I took off and we surprised Rich. He had absolutely no idea we were driving up to Miles of Mayhem. It was 1,250 miles, and Rich has done it 100 times. That was the first time I had made that trip. Excuse me. And we had a couple of issues all week. In addition to another competitor doing a rain dance all the time so that we couldn't finish, which didn't work, by the way. We had some challenges, but we were able to fix them. We were prepared. But I think doing 15 Dragon drives before we did this long one prepared us for it, because we had everything we needed, from a sheared cam gear to broken valve train stuff to oil changes are super important. I mean, if you're if you're Trevor Brandon, you should be changing it every 300 miles.
just watching for stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think going out of the gate, if I had done this and not had a couple of these under my belt, we would have not been prepared. And the things that we broke, I would have never have thought to have spares with me, and we would have been out. And we weren't. We ended up winning the event. And then it took 3 Canadians to come down and redeem themselves. Oh yeah, that's a jab. It's okay. Yeah. But honestly, like for Chris Hine, I didn't bring anything to the table for that guy. He had to add weight to make weight, and that thing's ridiculous. So
that car's very fast and pulls a super cool trailer. I mean, like
Well, it's a trailer home. I mean, he pulls a house. Yeah, he
pulls his house. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Like full kitchen with a granite countertop. Like it's nice.
Yeah. It's what I probably need to build for what I'm gonna for my travels. That's what I need is something like what he's got. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, let's pivot back to PRI because we want to tell people where to find you. You're in the yellow hall with us. You're actually not too far. You're booth 3210.
That's right. 3210.
I don't know in relation to what that means to anybody other than like make sure you put it on your PRI app.
Well, it's really close to 3209. It's really close to 3209.
It's like right across the thing. right down from it.
Yep.
So is this your first trade show to present at or like car show or anything like that?
Yes, to present at, yes, 100%.
Wow. That's exciting.
It is exciting. I guess when we've done race week in the past, my daughter did road week, and then she kind of managed the display and some of the social media content. And then before that, I had a high school kid that was working for me at the Bangshift Billy, assembling units and building harnesses and stuff. And he came one race week, drove my Volkswagen, and did the same sort of thing. And they would answer questions. We would have the old display with us, and people would come. And if I wasn't there, they'd have to explain it. And that was kind of cool. But yeah, this would be the first like legit trade show where we ponied up some money and hotels and I got Rich Guido is going to be in the booth helping.
Cool.
With a Bangshift Billy shirt on. He's going to look really good.
Yeah.
And then Travis Foster of Stick Shift Nation, I'm actually picking him up on the way to PRI.
Cool. Yeah.
He's going to be in the booth. So we're I don't think I'm going to get as much rotation time as him because I just found out that Rich Guido is going to be in your booth for an hour, which he didn't tell me about, but that's okay.
He's like, I'll just keep that quiet.
Yeah. So, but hopefully I'll get to rotate out a little bit to kind of check it out. I've been to PRI before and it's awesome. But if a guy's never been and they think they're going to do it in a day, good luck because you're not going to make it through in a day. It's just not happening.
And again, go back, download the app right now while you're thinking about it, because and that way you can go through and check mark who you want to visit, because I'm telling you, it's overwhelming. You just can't fathom what it is, and so pick your hall that you have the most folks in and just try and run through that. And, I'm hoping, so Eric and I's plan kind of is to get up as early as possible, typically 7:30, and we'll make our way over. We'll get some photos of like stuff in the hallways and because you can't get in until 8 or maybe it's 9. I can't remember what time I think you can get into the thing at 9.
7 to 9 for media. So you guys will be able to get in at 7.
On Thursday, and then I think Friday and Saturday it's 8.
Okay. I think you better make sure you get to bed at about 6:37. Because if you got to get up that early, man, you need your beauty rest.
6:30 a.m. What are you talking about?
That's right. Yeah,
we're burning this candle, baby. If there's people to talk to, we're talking to them. Okay.
Sleep will happen on like Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Well, and kind of our plan is to get there as early as possible. Maybe make our rounds, and that's when we're going to be able to see the booths and talk to other, potential sponsors or people like you guys running the booth. Like we'll be able to see our friends and all that stuff, and then we're going to have we'll be in our booth as often as we can be. But during the day, I mean, dude, we got a lot of different folks to go see, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen to you too. Like as things come along, I really thought about reaching out and see if you would come to ours, but man, it'd be too hard. Like you're going to have to answer so many questions. So one other thing about that too is like if there's some folks in our group that can help and we're all standing around, dude, we'll send somebody your way to help with that side too. You know what I mean? Just so you can have some coverage. Maybe you need to step away for an hour or something like that, or 30 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You know, and I think you guys kind of fed me some questions beforehand, which was awesome because I hadn't thought about some of these.
Yeah.
But one of the goals, you said what were 2 goals for the week, and really is to make new connections, because I think there's a lot of people that aren't even aware of the digital clutch controller. And more people talk about it, more people are using it, so it's starting to spread the word organically. But you know, I think to be at a show like this will be helpful, and the more people we can get talking about it. And what's crazy is, you know, the drag and drive events that I've done, Rocky Mountain Race Week, Miles of Mayhem, and I know there was a lot more, but continuously and year after year, it seems like the biggest class is the stick shift class, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
Bring it on. Yeah, there was one event this year. Was it Rocky Mountain or was it Race Week? It had like 34 competitors in that class.
Yeah, I think it was Race Week. It was crazy.
Crazy.
And if I'm not mistaken, at Miles of Mayhem, I think the stick shift class was maybe the second biggest class out of all of them. Maybe somebody can chime in on that, but I think that's
you mean somebody like me? Hang on, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here. I think they had 17, if I'm thinking.
Okay.
Thinking right.
Nice.
Hang on.
But yeah, you're right. It's been growing a lot, and there's been a lot of stick shift racing this last year in drag and drive, and it just keeps getting bigger. And those cars are so fun to watch. So I'm a fan.
I was wrong. They are 22 cars in that class at 22. Miles of Mayhem.
That's awesome. Yep. And do you have what was the biggest class car count?
That would be whatever their DYO stuff is, like their index class. So I think they had a 7 or that bracket class. Sorry, not their index. The bracket class 69 cars.
Woo! Better stop and turn around with that one.
So you know, you go from the bracket class to stick shift, and then everything else underneath it is less than 20 per class. I mean, it's just crazy. Rich Keys, stick shift the world, baby. That's right.
That's right. I love it.
Yeah. And this product here really, I mean, it can like it really can take a very mediocre driver and help them, you know, go faster. I mean, to be honest, like, because I would think that'd be the hardest part for me with stick shift racing is just that modulation of clutch pedal and bite and all that.
Yeah, and you know, let me, if I can give an example. You know, we have a customer. He's actually featured in one of our Facebook ads, and it gets a lot of comments and a lot of traction. But he had a fairly well built GT500. I don't know what year, maybe a 2018 or something. Making a little over 1,000 horsepower, obviously stick shift. For 2 years, he could not get the car to go quicker than a 955, which is moving. Don't get me wrong, that's moving. Fast, and this was full 4,100-pound car, full air conditioning, stereo, the whole thing. He bought our clutch controller, put it in, went to Cecil. First pass, he wanted to just get a baseline, went like a 9,550. Okay. Like same thing he's been running.
Yes.
2 passes later, the car went at 8,996.
Wow.
And what was the difference? He was running 155 consistent 60 foots with the clutch controller. He did a 136 60 foot. And it knocked over half a second off of his ET.
Wow.
And it consistently does it. And it's you know, there is some setup and a little bit of teething to deal with on the product, but once it's set up, it works. I mean, it just solid works. It got my car solid in the 8s, and I had my first drag and drive with the prototype with an 8-second average running it.
So, yeah. And before that, you had been like 920s or something like that, I think?
No, like 903s, 902s. Like it just would not run 8s. And the first 8-second pass I ever got was at Vandermeer. And in fact, the first bench top clutch controller device I have, the clutch that's on that is the first clutch I went an 8-second pass in.
Nice.
And you know what it was? The clutch was worn just enough that on that pass it slipped like just perfect, and it went like an 8.998 or 6 or 5 or something. And then the next pass that clutch wouldn't hold anything over 7 pounds of boost. It was like a one-hit wonder. And I had run the clutch most of the summer, but it was it. And it slipped, and that's what did it. It helped the short track, and it was done. But yeah, it was one pass, and I tried it 2 more after that, and it wouldn't take any power. I just blew right through it. So
that's crazy. Eric, will you pull up that comment that was just there? I think it was Chris Salkin.
Yeah.
He says here stick shift is more affordable for slower cars because you can buy a T56 for $3,000. Gear vendor alone is $3,000. Then you have to build a reliable automatic to attach it to. So, and I mean, let's be honest, like stick shift stuff is cool. Like, I mean, that's why Miles of Mayhem calls it the man pedal. I mean, like there's a lot of really neat stuff that goes into that. But as far as like driving around and everything like that, like it's good to have a stick shift in something. I'm not that guy, but like I can certainly appreciate all of that.
Oh, I absolutely love driving the 240 around town,
Yep.
and it's just a T56, and I don't know. To me, it's more fun.
Yeah. I mean, I guess with an automatic, the fun part is you get to go shopping for a really nice purse. So that's nice.
Yep.
But then you got to have a spot in the car for it, right?
Yeah.
So, but in all honesty, I mean, a box stock T56 will hold north of 700. They're rated for 700 foot-pounds of torque out of the box. Wow. And I know Rich Guido, he's run over 1,000 horse for like a whole season on it. Yeah, it's not super happy at the end of the season, but it'll do it. And the double overdrive. And depending which one you pick, you know, Rich and I both have 6th gear is 0.5. It's ridiculous. 85 miles an hour in my car with a 370 gear is like 1,800 RPM. And with Rich's, he has like 350, 355 gears. It's like 17. It's like a high idle going down the road. And that's part of the reliability. If you're not turning engine RPM, you're making less heat. You have less cycles on the valve train. You get better gas mileage. I mean, Rich and I get similar mileage going down the road, pulling our trailers. And last time I weighed my trailer, it was about 1,500 pounds. I get probably 15, 16 miles a the gallon going 80, 85 down the highway. It's ridiculous.
Well, and one thing I go back to a lot when you start talking about like cars living, you know, James Doc McIntyre was talking about, you know, and they're obviously at the ragged edge of NA performance, but you know, they're talking like they're trying to figure out how many rotations of that engine is going to make, you know, and that would definitely help a lot with that. If you're on that edge of your tuning window, you know, tuning at 1,800, which is your car probably makes 800 foot-pounds at 1,800 RPM. So it'll pull just about anything you would need to. And dude, you're just cruising along. That's awesome.
Well, what is crazy though is there is a lot of load on the engine and transmission in 6th gear going down the road, because when it's super windy, to maintain 75, 80 miles an hour, sometimes it's making a couple of pounds of boost. Like it's crazy. And sometimes it's a little happier in 5th gear. But you know, it's a balance. You don't want to lug it for hours and hours and hours. But when it's flat and it's not super windy, or if you don't have a trailer on it, it's ridiculous. I mean, I can tell you that 2,000 RPM, 2,100 RPM is like 100 miles an hour, and it is so happy there. It's like whatever. It's not straining. You're just like, woo-hoo, it's quiet. You can talk to the guy next to you. It's pretty nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's no one with a turbo 400 and a gear vendors that's ever saying that.
Right.
Yeah, because I think a gear vendor is what, a 0.78 overdrive.
Yeah,
I mean, that's about what our 5th gear is. I think it's a 0.84 or something like that. But
that's cool.
Yeah, it's, you know, it takes a special kind of stupid to do this stick shift racing, but it is fun.
Well, and I tell Rich all the time too, I love, like, anytime there's like a stick shift class that's getting called to the lanes, I'm up there, because there's violence that's going down when the stick shift cars are going. Somebody is either wheelie, or they're bucking something, or something's coming out of the bottom of somewhere. And that's important to us. Yep.
And that would have been Rich and I plenty of times before we got some of this, you know, clutch slip and tire stuff. You know, Rich's transition to a radial. I am not quite there yet, but we may try it again this summer because I'm doing some shock stuff. Matter of fact, Menser is shipping my shocks back now. They just got revalved.
Sweet.
because they weren't stiff enough. And
To handle the radial.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was getting maxed out on the rebound setting at like 40 clicks, and it still wasn't enough.
Wow.
So they have revalved those, and probably going to put some shock sensors in it this season because I've just seen the data that Rich can look at for his car. I mean, let's just face it, Rich is my hero and my nemesis. So
all at the same time.
Typically, people's heroes run faster than them. It's weird.
It is weird. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick it up this year because he's doing some stuff to his car in addition to dropping weight, where he's gonna be able to add a lot more power, and that sounds like trouble to me. So we're gonna have to step it up a little bit too.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. So we talked about the guys that are in the booth. So it's 3 of you guys running it, and then we talked about one of the goals. Is there anything else that you're focused on? Do you want to do while you're there?
Well, you guys were talking about some of the after hours stuff, and I'll tell you what, I am not up on like other than going to eat some dinner, which I do have to tell you, I made reservations months ago for a steakhouse.
Dude, we're talking about that.
Old Spaghetti Factory. Like that was all that was left.
That's where we went, wasn't it?
What's that?
The Spaghetti Factory. I think that's where we went last year.
It was delicious, man.
Yeah, and the Airbnb, I reserved that about probably 8 months ago, and it's like 3 blocks from there.
Oh, cool.
And the hotels are so expensive. So just trying to make that work a little better. Yeah. But I'm not really up on what's going on after hours. So talk to me. What other than the go-kart racing thing, what else is going on that we
so
can do?
I know there's some stuff going on Friday night. Eric, there was somebody made a post on Facebook the other day about something like a shop party or something like that at some shop that's close.
Yeah,
Friday night.
Let me see if I can pull that up because I sent you that.
Yeah, because that's really all I know that's going on. Like that's probably the hardest part. Like it's easy to find out stuff that's happening during the event, but afterwards, now since we're racing, the sick kart chaos. I mean, like that's what's going to take up our Thursday night. I got a message to Monoxide guy.
Your view of everything has just gone like this. We're gonna go racing. That's all I can see.
Yeah. I better get some. There's a K1 speed here. I better get over there and get on some of those carts and get
my
shoulders ready.
And last year we just ended up renting the scooters and then just riding those things around for a couple hours and.
Oh yeah.
Then we ended up trying to take them into PRI, and we rode them in PRI for a few minutes before we got chased out of PRI.
Yeah, it was a good time. David Maxon and the whole Maxon racing team were over there. Man, it was cool. It was like how many people? 12 or 13 of us just cruising, man. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
That's how we got back and forth. A lot of the times was just the scooters. So it's pretty cool. So definitely download those apps. I think it's Bird and something else. So. I highly recommend those.
Yeah. Are you aware, and I don't know if it's still active, but there was an app to hack the those Lime scooters, and they would go like 40 miles an hour after they hacked them.
I'm in. Let's figure out which one that's cool.
Yeah, I feel like Lime was cracking down on that pretty hard, but I really like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were trying to race them. Steven was doing wheelies on them. I mean, it was a whole thing. It was
the only downfall is in like congested areas, they actually will kick it down so that you can't even barely stay on it. And when we were out, I mean, it was late at night. There was nobody around, but they set like perimeters in areas where there's, tends to be a lot of people. And then you're just like, and then all of a sudden you get out of that zone and it takes off again. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get around that. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, Eric, did you find it by chance?
No, I'm still looking. If you don't know, we send each other a lot of messages.
You can't look in the messages of stuff. I think it'll probably be in our event stuff, but we'll invite you to it. But it's a shop party somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah, and another thing to add for the folks coming to PRI for the first time. If you happen to be a machinist or have a machine shop, then you'll have double trouble getting through because not only do you have the yellow hall, but you have the green hall with machinery row.
Yeah.
And the CNC machines and these things are up and running. Like I can't even imagine what their booth cost is for the power and everything, but
Right.
like you have
I-
so much to
yeah.
see. Like I'm not a machinist. Like I walk through, I'm like, oh, that looks neat. What is that? Like I have no idea. But if you understand all that stuff too, yeah,
I've got
like
it here.
3 days
Okay.
isn't enough.
Yeah, the
Right.
very first year that I went, I had no idea how big it was. I left here first thing in the morning, and it's a 4 hour drive, but an hour time difference. And then I didn't book a hotel or nothing. I just tried walking through the whole thing, and I was like, this is insane. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and then
So-
to get in the car and drive back home, no way.
Yeah, I
So-
did. I just got in my car and, and drove
Oh,
another
wow.
4 hours home.
So I heard a statistic. I don't know what it is for PRI, but for SEMA, if you were to walk up and down every single aisle at SEMA, you would walk 28 miles. Like that's
That's
bonkers.
insane.
Now, PRI is not quite as big, but I bet you it's 18 to 20 miles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
And
it's so much.
And that's literally if you just walk up and down.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, that like there's nothing else. Yeah, Rich says we have to go back to the Blue Bar one night.
Oh, I think that's because he wants to see me rocking out to a really good band again. I got made fun of. But they were so good.
Nice. Yeah. So this here, Marion County Fairgrounds, the Event Center, Indianapolis. I don't know where that's at in relation to where we're going to be. Let's
You know
see if
what?
it'll
It's
show
just
us
an
here.
Uber ride away.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just yeah, somewhere in there. We're in there somewhere. But
Perfect. Perfect.
this is kind of what we looked at the other day, I think, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so somewhere just to hang out. I don't know. I don't know what if we'll hit that or not. I don't know what kind of the plan is for Friday night, but we're open if people know what's going on and where everybody's going and things like that. We're definitely open for Friday night. Again,
No.
Thursday night we're gonna be racing go-karts.
Now, what I want to know is at your booth, are you going to have the bottomless bowl of nachos?
Something's gonna be bottomless. It may be
Because I'll definitely be over there for that. I can tell you that.
for
Right
Eric. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's not a bad idea. We've thought about, that's like the hardest part, dude. Like that's half of our conversations of like, what do we do? How do we draw people in? So,
Well, I have some ideas. I think the Hooters girls, they'll sideline
Oh.
for you.
yeah,
That'll bring them
that'd
in.
be perfect.
I think our budget's already tapped out though.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
There
the way.
might be some other ones that you could bring in, and
I don't
you
want
could
those
pay
in
them $1 at a time.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw my picture from last year of what happens after hours, but it's Mike posing up against one of the diesel trucks, and
No, I hope nobody saw that. Yeah, it's going to be wild, man, and it's so funny because like for the folks that are coming for this is their first time, it's going to be a great year. I think there's more people, more vendor booths this year than there have been in the last like 3 or 4, obviously.
Nice.
So like
nice.
people are coming, they're ready. So and like I said earlier, more than 50,000 people in attendance. So
That's
Yeah.
so crazy. Like
yeah,
that's such a huge number of people. It's
Yeah.
it's hard to walk through when there's that many people.
right. And then there's like I don't know, I think like 60 or 80 people commented on my post today that they're going. So like there's going to be race car friends everywhere. Every time you go to do anything, you're going to see some.
Well, there's some of my friends from race week and stuff that we always go together. They stayed at my house and stuff. They've never been, and this is their first year. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
come
I'm
on.
like, dude, you better leave your wallet at home and your credit cards because you're gonna have a massive problem.
Oh, I mean, and that's probably the hardest part is like everything is new and shiny. Like everything is the newest of new parts. Like if you're trying to build something, this is the spot to go and like see that new turbo, see that new Pro Charger. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
scooter racing. I'm in.
Yeah, and we're planning to have a show special. I haven't decided exactly what it is. We're not going to be selling units at the show because there was
Can't
some
do that.
huge tax forms and a whole bunch of other stuff we had to fill out for Indiana and everything. But we're going to have a code that people can use from the show to get a show discount to order after. So
Good idea, Eric. We probably need to get on some of that too.
yeah. So there you go.
That's cool. Well, man, I want to say thank you for coming on tonight. I mean, dude, it's going to be cool hanging out, even though we're going to see each other. We saw each other last year. I saw you and Rich for like 32 seconds, and you guys
Yeah.
were headed to do something, and then I never saw you again. So,
Well, it's because you're so
we're gonna see.
popular. Everybody was like,
Bullshit. It was
"You're shiny, shiny, woo!"
yeah, yeah. It was. I have real bad ADHD in these places. I'm like, oh man, oh look
Yeah.
at those people. I haven't seen that yet.
You
Yeah.
need to get a refill on your beta blockers before next week.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Well, dude, good luck. I know you're going to need it. We're going to need it. Everybody's going to have fun. I hope one of you guys can break away and come to the Drag and Drive Awards show that Thursday morning at 11 a.m.
Yep.
And if not, we'll definitely come over and we'll see you sometime during the event. I mean, obviously, we're going to make our way over to see you and hang out. And
Yeah.
obviously, the plan is to, while we're there, run a quick live stream possibly and
Ooh, that
talk
would
to
be
you
neat.
and
That would be
show some stuff and all the things. I mean, all the folks that watch this already know we adore you guys and love your stuff. So now we'll be able to show it in person. Like we'll have Eric kick it on the floor and do all the stuff so that we show
awesome.
them what to do.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I really,
Yeah, dude.
I'm flattered to be on here. So thank you.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. All right, we're putting you backstage. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you.
See you guys.
Bye. How cool, man. I'm telling you, that guy is awesome. If you don't know, huge fan of his for sure. I mean, all the stuff he does is top notch. And him and I've had a lot of conversations. There was a moment last year where I was looking at purchasing a business and he was helping me through a lot of that. I mean, obviously that didn't happen. And really, it's funny. This is probably more info than anybody needs for the Drag and Drive show. But the reason I was going to purchase that was to be able to do this full time and not have a full time job. So,
And
glad.
look where we're at now.
Yeah, I was gonna say glad that didn't necessarily happen the way it was gonna go down, and here we are. It's been pretty crazy.
I tell you
yeah,
what, every time we have Rich or Bill on here, it really makes me want to just go drive the 240 and like turn that into my race car. Like they really
Yes.
are so much fun to drive. Like
Mhm.
I drive the Mustang around town a couple times, but it's just not the same as just going out and banging gears. It's
Well, and again, a fun car is what typically is the best spend of your money. A fun car, and once you go past that level of fun, it really becomes maintenance and work and a problem. You don't want to work on it, or when you do, it's cubic dollars compared to. I mean, you have a 400 horsepower LS and a T56 in the Nissan. It's a ton of fun to drive. It will run with most anything that you're going to come across on the road, and you're in a way cooler car than a late model something.
Yeah, but it's like an eighth of the power of these guys' car.
Right. I mean, it's certainly 25% of it. Yeah, those guys definitely have the next level of stuff in that. Well, guys, we've had a crazy show again. I can't express enough. Please come see us at PRI. Please, if we are not there, take pictures with the folks that are there. Take pictures with the banner in the back. The banner behind me is what you'll actually see in the booth. I picked it up today, dude. It's 8 feet long by 5 feet tall. Like,
Yes.
it is gigantic. My 13-year-old can't stand and hold it up for me. So I'm going to put all that together tomorrow. Stand it up, get pictures, make sure I understand how all that stuff works. So we're not trying to figure it out at the show. And dude, we're going to go ham. I don't think people understand how much they're going to get from us because the one thing about us being there is the gloves are off. We don't have to worry about work. We don't have to worry about keeping up with anything else, necessarily like not drag and drive related, but I'm not putting together lists there. They're already done for 2023
Right.
by the time I get there. Like it's time to show out, take pictures, show people that are at home what is available at PRI. And then again, just literally walk around and talk to can we talk to 20,000 of the 50,000 people that are going to be there? Can we do it? Can we say hi? Can we, have people come by the booth and just hang out? And I was thinking, dude, 100 should be gone in the, 100 of the specialty decals should be gone. I would think 30 minutes or an hour. Surely 30 minutes or an hour.
I have no
Can we
idea,
come
but
up with some like code word? Like they got to ask us for the sticker. You know what I mean?
Right, maybe. And the best thing is we're gonna learn a lot this year
Yeah.
for future years.
Oh,
we
yeah.
ordered 300 stickers. Next year, are we going to have to order 3,000 stickers?
Yep.
Flyers we ordered. I don't remember what we ordered. 500. Are we going to need
Yep.
3,000 flyers? Like
Yep.
we're going to learn a lot, and it's just going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be really crazy to, dive off into this. And this is really the beginning of a lot of really cool things that are coming because of cool things that have happened already. Like
Yeah.
we're going to be, just like I said, this is going to be a learning experience that we're going to have big, deep, long notes made from. So, beeline to the NHRA stocks is beelining from the opening breakfast to here to get your decal. And I don't know, are we going to skip that? I don't know.
I'm not going to go to it because I want to be able to get inside, and I want to get pictures that I can come home and edit and post later. So I'll have. What?
Eric's gonna be in the back of the booth just editing pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen my schedule here lately, but
yeah, we're gonna be pretty busy
from morning until go-karts. There's not much time in there.
Yeah, Thursday's definitely going to be crazy for us. Like we're going to be at the booth, I think 2.5 hours all day.
Yeah, and I apologize to anybody that's on my social media that isn't one of my race car friends, because that's all you're going to see. Like there will be nothing else.
Yeah, it's really about us coming out and just taking Drag and Drive Addiction to the next level. I mean, that's the entire reason we are going to PRI, is to just absolutely light the world up. And Wes Buck says preach the gospel, but I mean, that's what we're doing. We're coming here to indoctrinate a lot of folks. And again, like I said earlier, there's just been a lot of moments where people are like, what is a drag and drive? I don't even know what it is. They know drag week, but they don't even know what it is. So like, imagine those folks, and we're getting to open their eyes to all that. So
right. And that was one of the reasons why we put that on the flyer. Like when we hand somebody a flyer, they're going to look at it, and that's exactly what it's going to say. So when they walk away, they're going to know what a drag and drive is, and they're going to know who Drag and Drive Addiction is.
Yep. And again, guys, if you follow us, if you follow us on Facebook, we've set up Facebook events for all of the times that people will be in the booths. Our goal is to go live through that event, but at least that event would update you 30 minutes ahead of time. Actually, I probably need to do that on StreamYard. That may be a better way to go about that. And then that way we can just sign into the StreamYard and it would immediately update everybody. I'm going to set that up tomorrow. That way everybody can have that. So you'll see all those events come back up, but it'll be easier on Eric and I's end to keep everybody updated. So, all right, guys, that's it for the show tonight. We're back Saturday morning for the Drag and Drive News. I'm back Saturday morning for Drag and Drive News. Eric is not going to be here. He has a family trip right before PRI. Thank goodness it's not during that weekend. So you've got a busy next 10 days or next 7 days, as well as getting ready for the PRI show. So
but not a lot of time at home, but the time that I'm going to be home is going to be spent preparing and getting everything ready that I need to bring to the show. So I've got notes here of things so that I don't forget this or that. So
one thing we do need to talk about after this is because I have Lightroom on my computer. I wonder if you could edit some on the computer. I don't know. We'll figure it out from there. That's behind the scenes stuff nobody on here cares about. Guys, thank you so much again. Thank you to our race car friends. Thank you out there for doing that. Thank you for all the shares during this. Thank you for the comments in the chat. I mean, almost 100 comments this week in the chat, which is awesome. And I just want to say thanks to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And hopefully after PRI, we get to add a few more names to that list. And I'm excited. So, all right, guys, I will see you on Saturday. Bye.
And I will see you guys at PRI.